Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Bold, Confident Women. I'm Tanaya, and today we're going to be talking about dealing with toxic people, the power of blocking someone. Okay, now some of you out there might be like, Tanaya, isn't blocking someone a little harsh? Like, isn't that kind of like, woo, right? And in some cases, yes. But if you have a very, very toxic person in your life, someone that is really just like taking every single little bit of you, then, blocking them is not the worst thing, right? So let me tell you a little bit about my ex, my daughter's father. And I told you a little bit about him in my video on rebuilding your life after your spouse leaves. So he left when our daughter, was a little less than 2 months old. And when he left, I told you this in that video, that I went to his work. Literally the day after he left, I went to his work and I was like, why did you leave? What is happening? Blah, blah. I was running back to him, right? Someone that had just left me and my daughter. I ran back to him trying to figure out what the hell happened, right? And that's probably one of the things I regret doing the most, right? Is running back to him. Because the moment I ran back to him, I gave him all the power. He had the power because I was like groveling back, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And so he had all the power at that point. I did not. I gave up that power the moment I went there. I gave up that power the moment I walked in the door, the moment he saw me. I gave up that power. So that's why this video is so important, because it's going to help you gain that power. You might already have it, right? You might already have the power and there's no need to block anyone. But if you don't have the power, if you're dealing with a very toxic person, especially if that's an ex, especially if that's someone that's your child's father, stuff like that, if they're a very toxic person, you want to, cut that relationship, cut that tie. So let me give you a little bit of background about what's happened with me and my ex when he left and since then. So when he left me with a number of different things, right? And this all me explaining this to you is going to explain to you why he's such a toxic person. So when he left, he not only left me to take care of and raise our daughter, right? So now I'm a single mom raising our daughter. He not only left me with that, he left me with over $7,000 worth of debt. And he left me with the task of moving all of our stuff out, packing and moving all of our stuff. Now, granted, he went and picked up his stuff the day he left. He went and packed up majority of his stuff because he really didn't have that much, to be honest. But he packed up his stuff and he left, right? So he left some of his stuff. He left stuff that was both of ours. He left stuff that, furniture, all that kind of stuff. Left everything else, all of our daughter's things, changing table, rocking chair, bassinet, you name it, he left it, right? And so it was now on me to not only pack up everything, but to move everything. Thankfully, I had some help in moving the big furniture that I had, but everything else was all on me. I had to pack up everything, I had to move everything. I didn't really have any help in that department. So, did all that. So he left me with all that right off the bat. Now, later on, as the course of my journey continued, I found out a number of different things. I found out that one, he had cheated on me, and not only did he cheat on me, but he cheated on me with someone that he worked with. How cliche is that, right? Oh man, I just think he's so stupid. Anyways, moving on. Cheated on me with someone while we were together, right? He was doing drugs. He was using, after he had left, started using our daughter as a pawn to get laid on dating sites. And he started dragging my name through the mud. He never dragged my name through the mud when he talked to me, when he reached out to me, but I have, people I know that he did drag my name through the mud, right? So he's out there spewing off all these lies about me and all that kind of stuff, right? Just horrible things that he's doing, on top of the horrible fact that he just abandoned us. all in all, like all of that, it's just, toxic, 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 especially the cheating, especially the drugs, like toxic, toxic, new, 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 right? Just don't want that in my life. Don't want that in my daughter's life either. So throughout the course after he left, he had emailed me a few times. He eventually texted me from his new number. When I found out it was him, I didn't respond. And when I didn't respond, he went and messaged me on Snapchat. And I didn't even read his message because as you all know who use Snapchat, like, you don't know what they actually say until you press on their thread on your feed, right? So I don't know exactly what he said. I just blocked him. And then eventually he reached out to me again and said, can I have a picture of our daughter? This was last week that he did this. And I was like, what the F? Like, are you kidding me? After everything that has happened, after what you have been using our daughter, or the pictures of our daughter on your freaking dating websites to get laid, you really think I'm going to give you a picture of our daughter? You haven't even seen her. You haven't even asked about how she's doing. You haven't even asked to come see her. Not that I would have let him after knowing that he's been using drugs and things like that, but I mean, nonetheless, like, he hasn't even shown that he cares or wants any part of her life. And he messages me saying, I want a picture of her. Can I have a picture of her? And he doesn't even call her by her real name, might I add you. Hasn't called her by her real name or her abbreviation of her name since he left. So I was like, hell no, right? Didn't respond, but in my mind, that was my reaction. And so eventually, the next day, I believe it was, I responded. And I said, never, ever, ever contact me again. Ever. And then I blocked him. There are two different feelings that went through me when that happened. The smaller of the feelings was a little sad and hurt. Because there was this part of my life with him that for the longest time I was trying to grow, right? We had plans to get married. We had plans to move into a house. We had plans to grow our family, right? To eventually have more kids once we got down having one. We had plans to buy an island in the Philippines, for God's sakes. Like, we had so many different plans. And I was so invested in that relationship. I loved him. At that point, he was the love of my life. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him, and, sending that text to him, telling him to never contact me again, was closing that door on that part of my life, on that chapter of my life. And that's sad. I'm not gonna lie, that was sad. Because I had invested so much time. I mean, it would be weird for someone not to be sad. I would find it like, if they didn't have a hint of being sad, like, that's totally understandable. So, but the other part of me, the bigger part of me, was like, oh my God, I have the power now. Like, I have the power. I can do it, and now it's not in his control. He doesn't have, like, if we're holding a mic and whoever has the mic has the power, he doesn't have the mic anymore. He had the mic when I went to his work, but now I have the power. I have the mic. And I'm holding that, and I'm not going to let it go for the life of me. I'm not going to let it go. And it's just so empowering, as a woman especially, to really seize that power and to be empowered by doing that, right? It's just, it's going to bring so much joy. It's going to be hard at first. It's been rough since that's happened, just in the fact that, like, again, like, that chapter of my life, that door is now closed. Closed, locked, bolted, big, huge things of 2x4s across the door, so you can't open it anymore. And, it's a big pill to swallow. But, like I said, at the same time, it is a very uplifting and very motivational thing and very empowering thing to be able to say, no more, I'm done. This is, like, we're done with this. Like, I don't need this shit in my life anymore. And that's what I did. And I challenge all of you at home who have a toxic person like this in your life. You know, say it's an ex, say it's someone that you used to love and everything like that, but they're toxic, just like my ex was. You know, I challenge you to take out your phone right now, block their information, block their number, block them on all your social media accounts, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of those. Block them, you know, because you don't need that. Like, if I didn't block him, he could have the ability to come back into my life, you know, willy-nilly whenever he wanted, which, by the way, is also giving him the power. He could come into my life whenever he wanted, you know, say, hey, you know, I want this, or hey, I want that, or hey, you know, I miss you, which is total BS. Or anything, any number of things he could say, and he tries to weasel his way back in. But I'm not going to let that happen because I deserve better than that. My daughter deserves better than that. And hell if I'm going to let some person, you know, just walk all over me like that. That's no go at all. Right? So I challenge you to do this. And like I said, my journey hasn't stopped. You know, my journey is continuing to go forward, and I'm going to continue to share with you what has been working for me, what hasn't worked for me, you know, and being really real and honest about my situation and what I've been going through and how I've been dealing with everything. So I really hope that this resonated with some of you out there and that it can help you in your situation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know, go ahead and leave those down below. Or if you have any topics that you want me to cover, go ahead and leave a comment down below, or go ahead and email me too. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know, share it with anyone you want to share it with. I'm trying to get, you know, my story of my journey and what I've been doing and how I've been dealing with everything out to as many people as possible, so I can hopefully help as many women out there as possible who might be in similar situations. So thanks you guys so much for watching this video today. I'm so glad you are here, and I will see you soon.